All right, so we're going to take a look at solving this Julian day number problem where we're going to ask the user what day it is, what month, and what year, and then we're going to tell them the Julian day number for that is whatever it is. And the way that we calculate that is through these math problems right here. Okay, so let's go back to Eclipse. And let's go ahead and create a new class, and let's call it Julian day number. And let's make that have a main method so we can just run Julian day number. All right. Okay, so we've learned a couple different ways that we can ask for input. Okay. Probably the easiest way to do that is using a scanner. Okay, so we could do the J option pane, but then we'd have to like change the answer into a number, and we'll just kind of do it the easy way. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a scanner, and that's going to be for reading numbers. So I'm going to call it number reader. It's going to be a new scanner using system.in as our source for our input. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do is to not import it, because I want you to see if your computer does the same thing that mine does. Okay, so we're going to start out by printing out a prompt, right? We're going to say enter the day, and then we're expecting that they give us a day, so we're going to create a variable called int day equal to number reader dot, and I want you to pay attention to what's happening on my screen. So next int, when I put that in and I put in the semicolon, mine automatically imported scanner for me. Does yours do that for you as well? Okay, so sometimes when you just kind of know that, you know, the computer, or the language I should say, the Eclipse figures out for you like, oh, this is the only scanner that could possibly have next int, so let me go ahead and import that for you. So that's kind of a nice little feature. Okay, all right, so to make this quick, take those two lines, copy them. Okay, so I'm doing that via the keyboard with Control C, paste them with Control V, do it again, and then change this to month, year, year. Okay, so I'll let you guys get caught up a little bit here. Okay, so the first thing that we have here for Julian day number is we need a variable a that's going to be equal to 14 minus month divided by 12. All right, everybody see that? So what I'm going to do is kind of put that up there so we can kind of scroll through it at the same time that we are doing some programming. Okay, so we can see both of those things. All right, so it said in the problem that all of the division is integer division, and we talked about what that means, that it's just going to truncate any remainder value. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start out with int a equals, and then let's do 14 minus month divided by 12. All right, so let me ask you this. Is this correct? No. Good. All right, what's wrong with that? Yeah. Right, so remember that like there's assumed grouping going on here when we put the division bar underneath that whole expression. So the computer will not assume that for you. You have to be very explicit about what you want grouped. So I got to do 14 minus month in parentheses, and then that result is divided by 12. Okay, so why don't you guys go ahead and try to do y and m. Okay, this is y equals year plus 4800 minus a. I know it doesn't look that great because it's like a image. M equals month plus 12 times a minus 3. So you guys can try to do that. So we're creating another variable called y, another int called y. And what should y be equal to? Good. So that's a good question. Do we need any parentheses in this expression? I don't think so. It'll just go left to right. It'll do the addition and then the subtraction. It doesn't matter. If you add parentheses in there, I mean, unless you do something silly, it's not going to mess anything up. Okay. And then the month. So int m equals, or sorry, I shouldn't say the month, but m, month plus 12a minus 3. Okay? So, what's the problem here? A has a squiggly under it. That's the problem. That's right. Okay? So why does A have a squiggly under it? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we can't, the computer again can't assume that we want to multiply there. We have to be explicit about the operations that we want done there. So we got to do 12 times A that way. All right, and then the last one is the fun one. Okay. So there you get a lot of practice in using this stuff. You know, int JD. Yeah, that's the fun one. Okay, so you guys try to get ahead of me a little bit, and then I'll try to catch up. So we got JD equals day plus. What do I need after I do day plus? I need parentheses, right? So I got to group that 153 times m plus 2. And then I'm going to divide that by 5. You guys keep going. So 365y is 365 times y. Y divided by 4 minus y divided by 100. So these things here I kind of recognize. Those are like the rules behind leap years. So this is adjusting for leap years. All right. You know, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't gone through all this stuff as far as like figuring out what these numbers are from. Sometimes you just trust people, you know. Okay, so then we want to print out what the Julian day number is. Okay, so I didn't really talk about, you know, all of these things. Does all of this stuff make sense to you guys as far as how this expression up here is equivalent to this programming expression down here? Are you guys okay with that? Okay, so then we just want to say something like the Julian day number is, and then plus JD. Okay, let's go ahead and run that. I'm just going to slide this up so we can see that. Okay, so what's today's date? Today's the 28th of September. And they tell us that the months are entered. January is 1, February is 2, so that should work. And it's 2016 still. All right, so I figured that out pretty quick for me. The Julian day number is 2,457,660. Okay, did you guys all get that same number? So that's, yeah, it's basically like how many days it's been since 4800 BC, probably January 1st, 4800 BC. It is pretty cool, I think. Yeah, do your birthday. So if you didn't get this number, if you didn't get 2,457,660, either you screwed something up or I screwed something up. And honestly, like, the thing that you should probably be looking at is, did you do a plus where you meant to do a minus or something like that? And it could have been me. Okay, plus, 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 minus, plus, and minus. That's looking good to me. I think that we're all good there. Okay, so what you're doing right now, if you got something wrong, if you got a different output than I got, okay, then what you're doing is what's called debugging. Okay, so you're going through your code and trying to figure out where the mistake is. I got 2,457,660 for today's date.